welcome everyone to another episode of the podcast. Before we get into it today, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button and subscribe to our Patreon. The link to the Patreon is in the description of this video, and there you'll have all content early, bonus content, the ability to ask these two personalized questions on our monthly Q&As. So go check it out and subscribe now. We also want to give a big shout out to Kcl Automotive. John will talk about them in a second. I'll give you the phone number at the end.
98 Henry Street, East Stroudsburg, PA, for any car needs, used cars, buy here, pay here, tires, auto body work, or any kind of inspections. Ask for my cousin Steve or Dave and or Chris, and you get 10% off.
The phone number is 570-534-8497, so go check that out today. We also want to give a big shout out to Dr. Kramer at CannabisExamNY.com. Medical marijuana is now legal in New York State, so by going to www.CannabisExamNY.com today, you can start the process to get your New York medical marijuana card. Here are some of the qualifying conditions for you to obtain your medical marijuana license in the state of New York. Chronic pain such as migraines, back pains, old injuries, arthritis, ALS, PTSD, epilepsy, cancer, HIV/AIDS, you name it. Go check it out and see if you qualify today. Again, CannabisExamNY.com to get your New York medical marijuana card today and schedule your exam with a New York licensed physician. An 100% refund if you don't qualify. Check it out. We'll put the link in the description of the video, so go check that out today. Gentlemen, I know you had a few words to say about Jimmy Kcl.
So, hey, first off, my man Marco's back. He's from Pinellas, so we had to have a laugh on that.
And Marco was on, for people out there, he was on a previous
we're talking
episode.
About this guy with baseball bats on our hand. That seemed like the wrong message.
But first, let's introduce Marco Santi, who was on a previous episode. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, so we're happy to have you back here.
Happy to be here.
We also want to give a shout out right as we start to the man who sent us some personalized baseball bats, which I never thought.
David Martin, what's up, buddy?
David, thank you, buddy. And
awesome, Dave.
These bats are for our new team.
For our new team, not for Kcl.
They're engraved in with our names, and people that like them, he'll custom make them for $100. You can contact Felix about it or the show, the Johnny and Gene Show. He'll put your name on it, put the Johnny and Gene Show, and send them out to you guys, whoever wants them. And for Jimmy Kcl, we'll give you a special one.
Special one.
I want some shout outs to some good guys. First, Marco was a vet. So for you veterans out there, you guys know I always show you respect for all you guys, for your service. Thank you guys. Johnny Massa, who grew up with me, was a tough guy from the street, good guy. And I'm going to shout out to him and his son, because this show's about doing the right thing with your kids. And he taught his kid a different way. His son's a real good man, father of a newborn recently in the last couple of years, and just does the right thing with his life. And that's what it's about, changing the way we grew up. So I want to shout out to him. Shout out to Chuck in Utah. We didn't forget about you, Chuck. We know you're out there, brother, and appreciate saying hello.
What about that kid Fabio? He's a good kid. He looks out for us, man.
Yeah,
Is that the one that's always...
He's a good kid, though. This kid Fabio, man, he fights for us, boy.
He's on Instagram.
Yeah.
He does, funny. Man. I gotta be honest with you, man. He's a loyal guy right there.
You got some good guys out there, positive messages, and the guys that follow us. We appreciate you guys standing with us on the message. Message has got to be about positivity, not negativity. You have the trolls out there that obviously they're haters that want to, pass negativity. And I guess if they like that negative stuff, they can pass it on to their own family. But for you guys out there doing positive things, just keep it moving. And, let's talk about some of the reasons why we'll bring that up today. So Jimmy Kcl, we'll go back to him. He's a guy that claims to be a street guy, tough guy, friends with different street guys. There was a lawyer from my neighborhood that was very good friends with him, Jesse. So this is a special message to Jesse, and I respect him and his family. Obviously, I loved his brother, Frankie. So this is a message for the people that get fooled by guys in the street that ain't about the street. So we're going to play one of the tapes out of 17 tapes we have to 911, where he's ratting and calling and begging for help.
September 6, 2019, 02:45 and 05 seconds.
911, what is your emergency?
Yeah, I need somebody to come to 3 guys walking to my house.
and trying to do something to me. They're chasing down Racetrack Road right now.
Okay, I need you to calm down, talk a little bit slower for me. Give me the address of the emergency and what's going
I'm
on?
walking out. Excuse me?
What is going on exactly?
They broke into my house.
Okay, how many
and
subjects?
And they're chasing me. Three or four.
Can you tell if they're white, black, Hispanic?
They look white.
How long ago did this happen?
Right now, they're still chasing me.
Okay, so they broke into your home and now they're chasing you?
Yep.
Can you tell what they're wearing?
It's too dark. I'm on Racetrack Road.
What was that?
Yeah, it's too dark.
Okay, it's too dark. Where are they chasing you? Where are you running?
I'm going. I'm just running. I'm getting out of there.
Okay. I just need to know where you are. My deputies are going to want to know where you are. And they're still chasing you. Do you see any weapons?
Yeah, they're still coming. Shit.
Okay.
I knew it.
All right. Do you see any weapons? Sir?
Yeah.
Do you see any weapons?
I know I can't see nothing. It's too dark. They're coming, three of them.
So not only did he do it here on those tapes, while I was in prison, he asked my friend, that was also one of my partners in my nightclub, Frankie Kcl, to help him to cooperate against me, to keep me in prison so he could steal my multi-million-dollar club Mirage, which Frankie denied. Frankie said no, Frankie wouldn't have no part of it. But Jimmy, on the other hand, when he did get locked up, Marco knows, he went over to Pinellas County where I was in prison, and he checked into Suicide Watch, and he stayed there for 3 months until they shipped me out. So this is the guys that, the true, what I want the young kids to see. Don't believe the bullshit they talk about, because we're going to play it in his voice so you can hear it on tape. And we have 17 more of those tapes of those conversations of calling 911. So he's not a stand-up guy. When he did go and get in trouble, he checked himself in PC and he checked himself in Suicide Watch. And the message is the streets aren't loyal, and don't let anybody think it is. They'll try to fool you all the time. Live a good life.
Now, John, did you have a lot of those instances where people tried to get you in trouble, I guess, either when you were in jail, out of jail? I don't know if there's some other ones that come to mind, because I'm sure people are curious out there.
Guys talk, when they're, first of all, guys have the tendency, when you grow up in the street, to be tough guys when there's 5, 6, 7, 10 guys. But when they got to stand on their own 2 feet, they're not tough guys. And that goes back to Marco and the veterans. These guys are standing on their own 2 feet. They're risking their lives. They're putting a uniform on, protecting this country, doing something honorable. When you get these other guys doing that and that cowardly way of behaving, or I don't know who's teaching these guys that these computer, trolls it's kind of so laughable to see these guys behave this way and even look at themselves and say, I'm a half a man to do that. So, my respect's always going to go out to the right people, and those guys in prison that are doing their time and fighting through to come home and do the right thing in prison. Sometimes it's difficult because you got these guys in groups. Jail's a difficult spot if you're with the wrong, in the wrong section or the wrong group, just what you guys were talking about on the other show with this kid, Peter. Hopefully he understands this is a dead end. Nobody's going to respect you for, because you went to jail. You're going to sacrifice your life. And unfortunately, from what I understand, he was a good kid, and I hope he gets out of his trouble some way, one way or the other.
Going back to the Jimmy thing, when you had listened to those tapes the first time.
They're hysterical, by the way.
Yeah, well, people have listened at this point. What was your reaction when you kind of heard
Well,
that?
I know the kid, listen, when somebody's always yapping the way he does, and you just talks, he's a coward. And, when he was younger, his guy, Ronnie G, slapped him. And, Ronnie warned me at that time when he was younger. John, believe me, I was friends with Ronnie at the time. He says, this kid's a punk. Well, I didn't listen to Ronnie, and he happened to be right. When he disrespected Johnny Knig's daughter and he ran out of the state, is the second time that the bells went off that this kid's a punk. Santos, made guy with the Bonanno family, called him a rat and said the same thing, that kid's a punk. So when guys are constantly saying this guy's no good, and then when he went to prison, he's checking himself in all the time. So, when a guy does that, obviously he's not man enough to stand on his own 2 feet. And when you on top of that, when you're going to a guy like me that saved you, put you in a house, made you a living, and you took those millions of dollars, well, my son's mother was just recovering from cancer, instead of giving that money over and doing the right thing, and you kept it, and you want to drive Lamborghinis and run around like you're a gangster and tell everybody I'm your cousin, but then you check into Pinellas County Suicide Watch, and you guys out there that are lawyers, and it's very easy to check. Anybody that's involved in the street, it's very easy to check where he did his time. So, and again, we're going to play tapes now. So when these guys talk like they're killers and tough guys and street guys and they're beating up girls and threatening ex-wives and children and attorneys, this is going to be a special message. And that's only one tape we're going to play today. But if it continues, we're going to play the whole 17. And we'll continue from there because I got some other people I could bring on the show that claim that he also talked against them. So with law enforcement. So
Who's he hanging out with these days? Who's he hanging out with?
I don't know. He's doing a lot of drugs though, so so he could be hanging out anywhere with anybody. But we're gonna shut this kid up from trolling all over the place and this nonsense. And you live out in Florida, so and we got a lot of friends out there, so we know a lot about the guy that we won't put on the program today. But if it continues, it's going to go out on the program in another manner.
And of course, if he's on drugs, his credibility is shot out the window anyway.
Yeah.
He'll say anything.
Why?
He'll say anything to.
Well, he doesn't take care of his own kids, so this is not a man. And anything he's done, he hasn't been a man. And
Ronnie slapped the shit out of him?
oh, Ronnie slapped the shit out of him. Yeah, and so but it's funny when I told guys about the guy back then when I bought the club Mirage. I bought the club with Cam. He passed away. A friend of mine. He was one of the partners. I gave him $500,000 in a bag to go buy a club. That was just one club. Cam owned another club called American Cowboy with me up on Waters and Del Mabry's.
Exactly.
And then I had one here in Cherry Hill. Then we bought another one. Then I bought one with Duke. So
I actually changed the name to Studio Inc.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know exactly. Yeah.
So, we've been in the club business and we knew the business. And, this is, when it comes to money, greed, the street, treachery, it's back to guys like this, who's undercover.
That's what they do.
Gene, did you ever have to deal with a similar type of character?
What, calling cops on me?
Yeah, or
Okay. I wish I could get some people on here because people still talk to me to this day because in my neighborhood, people say, I will never turn on Gene Bro because that's all they did was call the cops on me. They couldn't handle me. So in this generation, they weren't really killing no more. So a guy like me, I was too out of control for my generation. So what they did was just call up on me, get him off the street. You had gangsters calling up on me, telling them that I robbed them, getting me in trouble from street guys. So how is that even fair? How do you want me to hold down life when you got street guys telling on me? That's insane.
What happens from that point when
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
There's actual proof, and I don't want to get into it, that a legit gangster dead out told the organized crime unit that I robbed him. That for his loan shark money. It's insane what goes on, and I'm a rat.
and the main goal is to just get you back in and
They want me
locked
off the
up
street. They
forever.
couldn't handle me. I was too chaos. I was just chaos.
Right. It's crazy.
They didn't have the balls to kill me, which I says I would respect you more to put a bullet in my head.
Do you guys feel like there was more immediately getting out of jail, more of a target on your back because there are people that knew that if you guys get in there for a small offense, you guys are in trouble for probably a little bit longer?
Well, without rap sheets, that's the only thing that hurts.
Listen, you got to learn to, and over the years, and when you're on the street the way we are, you're violent and you do things. You got to learn to be able to change your life the way we do. You got to, a real street guy, a real tough guy. Don't talk like these trolls do. Don't write like they do. Don't act like that. There's some serious tough guys from every ethnic background, from every city. And they're tough guys, but they act like men. There's a little difference. They don't act like this. This is usually the weak guy. So for the kids, the message is back to the kids again is, at one time I had a foundation called the Salente Family Foundation. And it was back probably about 6 or 7 years ago. I had it with this guy, Bill. And Bill had some family issues, and we didn't move forward after we had it for about a year or so. And it was about remaking the kids that were in situations like us, that there's a foundation of guys doing the right thing. And you become a member doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. And then you rise up in rank as you continue doing the positive stuff. So it was a good idea. Bill came up with it. It was a nonprofit foundation. And, you know, I want to sit and talk about doing it again and to keep that positivity for the guys out there in the street like Chuck in Utah. My brother thinks I forgot him. I didn't forget him. And he's got a good message. And, you know, he was a Latin King. I think, you know, you remember we had him on the show. And he's got a lot of kids, and he's teaching his kids the right thing. And that's what we need to talk about is how to move forward with some of the positive guys and not these negative kids.
Do you feel like as a parent, it's tough to remain credible trying to teach your kids the right things when you have, you know, the background that you have?
Oh, I mean, listen, my background's what it used to be, but my thought process is never going to change. I just put that in the back burner, and I react differently. And, you know, so I talk about the reaction has to be different. You know, you can think certain things, but then let it slide to the back of your head. And, you know, I can imagine, like, just beating Jimmy Catacam over the head with his bat.
I was about to say, you guys
But I'm
never going to let go of the...
But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to...
It's crazy.
What's
He
the
lives in
doc?
Five
Excuse me,
Boroughs,
what's
though?
the doctor's name?
He lives in the 5
Dr.
boroughs.
Kramer?
I'm going to go to Dr. Kramer, smoke my weed, right?
But I'm saying,
Relax my PTSD.
he lives in the 5 boroughs?
No, he'll never come back here again.
Oh, I'm about to say, that's
And
crazy.
he's in Florida.
Because I'm all over the 5 boroughs. all over. Bump into you.
But
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm going to get my card.
911?
I'm getting my card because I was diagnosed with PTSD
Really?
years ago. Yeah, me and Marco
Have you ever
talked
tried
about
medical
that.
marijuana for you?
No, I never tried medical.
And I can relate with John because with PTSD, as soon as something happens, your first reaction, like physically, is just to run over and destroy. But now, as at the age that we are, you have to understand that comes with consequences. And when you have children, you know what I'm saying, and you have to set examples. And that's what John's doing, a big. He's super huge in Florida. A lot of people that I talk to in Florida, they see the positivity. So it's with PTSD, that's what but you have to, like you said, put it in the back burner, you know, because.
What are some of the ways in which, you know, you've seen that PTSD kind of come from or stem from, or events that'll kind of trigger that, if you will?
Certain smells would trigger me. Like if I would smell, let's say a dead animal, and it kind of brings back that memory, you know what I mean, of smelling the charred bodies when we used to blow the T-72s or the T-62s. Wow. You know, that smell you never leave, and it still doesn't leave me. I can still, you know, picture it. It's real hard to deal with because you do something that's unnatural. You know what I'm saying? It takes somebody's life. It's not natural. That takes a lot of, like we say in Spanish, I think a lot of cojones.
Right.
That's something that you got to really, you know what I mean, it got to muster up, and you got to deal with that. You know, you have to deal with that constantly. And I know how John feels because, you know, John, he's done, you know, he's been around, let's just say. And he knows, he knows, I know what he goes through. And it's tough.
How have you dealt with, you know, when you have those moments where maybe it's a smell or I don't know, a sound or something that triggers you?
Yep.
What's the initial thing when you feel it perhaps coming on?
I get the heart palpitations. I start to sweat. I get real agitated. You know what I mean? On 4th of July, I basically just kind of, they give me medication to take on that day because it's super bad for me. You know what I mean? The boom, the loud sounds, the sounds of the Connex bombs in Iraq and all that stuff. I mean, I was actually knocked off I was on the hood of a Humvee, and when one went off, it was literally 30 miles away and knocked me off my Humvee. I mean, these things were what they do is they stuffed, you know, Connex with 2 tons of C4, and that's what they were dropping in Iraq. And that was a constant thing all the time. So the loud sonic booms, the percussion, if I hear, let's say, a car come by and music with percussion, that'll trigger stuff like that. But I kind of sedate myself on like 4th of July and like New Year's and stuff like that. It's just something that it's kind of hard to deal with. Still, after 25 years, I was 19 when I went to combat.
Wow.
You know, and it was tough. I mean, I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was a kid, and we had to clear buildings, and we had to. I mean, we was as I'm air assaulting into Iraq, we're being shot. I'm seeing bullets come through the floor of CH-47 Delta. You know what I mean? I'm 19 years old, and this was incredible. It was a shell shock for me. So I'm right there with you. I'm 100% service connected for post-traumatic stress disorder through the government, through the military. So I know exactly what John.
Well, I just did that show again with Brian Bash. He'll be out this week. Brian, a good friend of mine, was a birthday. Happy birthday, brother. 34.
Happy birthday, Brian.
And he got the show I do once in a while with him. I Got You Six.
Oh,
His
yeah.
podcast
That's
is a
awesome,
cool
yeah.
podcast. And we talk about what he's saying, what triggers you. I had another friend, a different Brian, who whistling triggered him. And, we could joke around because, I used to joke with him and he'd be, walking down the hall and I'd be like, and he, and he
The guy almost jumps out of his skin.
But with
huh?
me, yeah, and, but he would really get off, he'd go off on it. And, certain guys would joke and he'd look to hurt him or kill him. We're friends, we're cool and whatever. So when I did it, he'd look at me and say, come on, man, you got to get, because you were working with each other, trying to help each other through. But imagine saying that, like whistling really set him off.
Yeah,
What's the most unusual one for you?
Me,
The one that's least expected.
the least expected ones are the smells, because you're walking in the areas or you going into, like, I was in the beach, and I guess it was at the time they had the red tide.
Right.
Remember the red tide in Florida? Man, and I got a whiff of that. And man, let me tell you something, man. I had to run, man. I had to get out of there because and see, in Florida, I have a concealed weapon license, so I'm armed legally. I'm an avid hunter. I hunt. Those are the things that I do to kind of work with that is.
Well, I'm going to get Jimmy Cat to count those bugs. Don't you? So when you go hunting, you can.
Yeah.
I see you rocking that TS hat.
Oh yeah, the Terror Squad. Yeah, I've been with Terror Squad for like since '82.
Okay.
Actually, I was like something positive, talking about like the guys they fake and they rat and stuff like that. I mean, actually, Fat Joe probably would have had a record early on in life because we had on the graffiti. We was doing the graffiti when Terror Squad was a graffiti group, by the way. It wasn't even a rap group yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a graffiti group, and we got caught in the yards by the graffiti squad, which they still have. I heard it was a felony here now. Back when we was doing it, it was just a little small misdemeanor. You get a little ticket, you go to court. Now they're putting you in jail for doing stuff like that. So I had got caught, and they locked me. They handcuffed me to the bench on Longwood Avenue. We were just talking with Albie from TS, and Joe comes out of the train, comes out of the tunnels, and he's walking towards me. So I start doing the beatbox, like, telling him no. I'm looking at him going no, because the cops are right behind me. Anybody who came to me to say hello, they were gonna snatch him up. And I saved Joe from getting arrested. I could have easily said, he's with me. No. Because that's the rule, in the street, when you somebody real, and especially with Terror Squad, we're not born from the same mom, but we might as well be. I'd rather go. I went to jail. I went not to jail, little juvie, whatever the case may be. I was young, and I went. Never said a word.
Right.
Never say this is this guy. Where you get this? Who he was with? No, never. And to this day, never.
Hey, you know what the people do if they don't remember? There's a lot of pictures with you. And,
absolutely,
and Fat Joe growing up in school and as kids, and also music business. You're good.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you.
So
yeah, I did. I was with Universal Latino Records for 3 years, and I did an album with them called Mi Manera. So I sing I sang a salsa album, and I mixed it with English. And I'm also related to Mark Anthony. So Mark Anthony is my second cousin. So my dad's mom, my grandmother, and his mother, sisters, which
That's
I can
crazy.
send you pictures.
That's a big story.
I'll send you.
I think we want to see more pictures with J-Lo than
Oh
Mark
yeah.
Anthony.
I'll get those too. But so I came out, and Mark gave me his blessing and stuff like that. But I never asked to say, hey, I never reached out and say, hey, could you help me? Because I try to make it on. I made the 17 on the Billboard charts in 2005. You can go check that out. That's right there. And after that, I started having kids, and then I kind of just kind of retired. I got out the military, retired. I did my 20 years, and I was done. I just got out, and right now I'm working on a single because it's some passion of mine, and so I'm working on a single now. So little by little, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm coming down to see you next
iTunes?
month. I'll be down there.
Oh yeah,
Spotify.
absolutely. John has an open door policy in my house. He don't got a call. He just walks in. He just walks in. That's it.
When did you first meet this guy?
When he first came home. Well, actually, the first time I seen John was back in the mid '80s in Mulberry, Manhattan.
Yeah.
He used to. He was.
Oh, so you saw him at the peak.
He was young. He was young. Yes.
was
But
big?
see, when you
Three-piece
see,
suits?
and his name in the street was John. They called him Johnny Aile. The TS members. and the people at the right next to the Met Food, they had the little social club. Remember the Met Food they had there with the social club? And so you couldn't just walk up to John. You don't do that. You know what I mean? I mean, in them days, you know, he was highly respected. He was a street boss, highly respected. And so I never really approached him at that time. But when he came home and I saw him on the internet, it was like two light bulbs came on. I said, "Oh man, I got to talk to him," because I've been around him. I used to actually with the Gambinos. I had a part-time job just watching their consolidated trucks, so the feds don't bug them. So I would drive around. It was called Explore Investigations. Y'all can check that out too. Explore Investigation Agency, and they paid me to drive around. You know where the post office is on 17th Avenue down there by the west side? Right. Where they across the street from the post office, they had all the consolidated trucks, and I would drive on all night and kick feds out of the yards.
Wait, so how long? So like, what's a shift look like? What time to what time?
I was doing it from midnight to 8 in the morning.
Midnight to 8, and you're just driving.
I'm just
around?
driving circles.
Around how many cars?
He
Around how many
wasn't just
trucks?
driving; he was smoking Dr. Kramer's weed too.
I had to stay up. You know what I mean?
Wait.
But yeah, I was kicking federal agents out of the yards. I would see them popping the locks, going inside.
How many trucks are there in the yard?
The consolidated, they had probably 8, 16. They had about 24 trucks down there parked in that yard, and they had a second floor where you would watch when you take a break, and then you would drive around and they gave us like a Chevy S10, and we would drive around, and we would catch the feds. We see little flashlights and
So what happens when you see a fed? Like, what do you do?
Man, I would haul ass down there, and actually they would see me coming, and they would just either take off, and you could tell they were there because the chains were popped. They would pop the locks to try to get into the consolidated trucks. They were trying to bug the trucks. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was just like, I couldn't even believe. And then at the time, I didn't really know too much about the mob. All I know is that he was Carlo. You know, Carlo would be there. His son, Thomas, was the one I had most contact with. So Tommy Gambino I would open the gate for him. He would come in, he'll go to the office.
He was a good man. He just passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
A lot of rest in peace. Yeah, Tommy. Yeah. So I had a lot of the two brothers that were always together. Tommy, what's his other brother?
Yeah, Tommy there, Johnny had his cousins, Joe.
Yeah.
You know, so they were all around that.
Yeah, So Thomas Gambino was the guy I always
Felix, take it back.
So it was, you know, that's what I did. That's my interaction with the mob. And then after I got older.
How long did you do that for?
I did it for about a year and a half, 2 years. I was still in the Army too. I was still in the National Guard at the time.
Wait, so you're in the National Guard.
I'm in the National Guard, and I always had a part-time because I had kids. I was having,
So you're in the National Guard. Part-time job is
as a security guard
for the Gambino family.
For the Gambinos.
That's magical.
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking insane.
I tell my friends that, and they look at me like, what? Yeah.
Wow.
I would stay up in the base, up in Patchogue, New York, Monday through Friday. Then drive down on Friday night and work Saturday, Sunday, and flip around, be in formation on Monday morning. And that's what I did, man.
And they just pay. I mean, they ever just pay cash, and
no one knows. Actually, the company paid me. They had to put me on some of the books, but most of it was they used to throw me some cash on the side. Wow. But they had to put something on the books. You know,
that's amazing.
The mob. You know, they like to. They got to seem somewhat legit.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can't just do everything like that because then they forget it. They'll lose everything.
So then
which they did.
So then when you met him when he came out,
he came home and he did
2000.
I can remember about 2013, I guess, around there.
Yeah, he did with David. What's his show? Something Entertainment.
Oh, Value
Entertainment.
Yeah,
you did the. That's when I saw you there. That's when I contacted you.
That's the one that we were on?
Yeah.
No, this is one I did out in Texas.
His name is.
We did Vlad, right?
Value.
Who's the one that goes, how people did you shoot? How people did you kill?
Oh, that's Vlad.
Oh, all right, yeah,
I saw Urine when you first the day. I think the
I
week
was
you
home
came
like
home.
3 weeks.
Yeah. You was home like 3 weeks.
Why does he always say that? How people did you shoot? How people did you kill? How people do? What did you do? Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
What's up with this dude?
Give him some Dr. Kramer sweet. I'm gonna love.
We're gonna have to give you a big dose.
Screen right here, like he's the guy from that movie.
Doc, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna make you very famous here.
I'm telling you,
because I got a lot of guys that need that card.
He needs 2 cards.
And he keeps interviewing the same people over and over, bro, next to the same fucking questions. Oh shit.
We're gonna send Vlad to Doc too.
Yeah. So yeah, when David
Patrick Bet David, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. And then
he's
good dude.
Good dude, very professional, and I think if you watch his stuff, he's got a lot of good people on there. I think I just hit over 5 million on that one.
Oh yeah,
5 million.
Let me tell you
views on
something.
that
Every
one.
time he asked him a question and John answered it, like I could sit there and verify. I was like, yo, I remember that body. I remember. And then everything, everything clicked. And then I called him. I said, man,
That was your
come on,
first
John, we
interview?
gotta-
Well, here's another thing.
I think that was one of your first interviews, right?
No, 60 minutes was that?
It was one of the bigger ones. Yeah, I mean, I've done so many at this point, but yeah, that was one of
Yeah,
the.
you getting-
probably. I think that was
That's
one
probably
of the
your
largest.
biggest.
No,
ones.
60
Yeah,
minutes. I remember when they first.
Well,
I was still active in that one.
60 minutes at the Mob Museum. I did some other, major stuff.
When that
but-
60 minutes came, everybody was going, "What the fuck?" I was still active at the time. They were all flipping out. He's going on 60 minutes. They were all fucking having a heart attack. Junior was shitting himself.
But I do got to shout out to Gene, man. Gene did like
I was
360 degrees, man.
It took me 360
Super wild.
hours a
He was
day.
super wild, wasn't
to
he?
get him to change.
I'm still wild. I'm still
Yeah.
trying just to be good. I'm like,
I
But
took
he
his
did, man.
back.
Congratulations, bro, and you're doing
guess
as
so.
good as you're doing.
Give me
man.
that bat back. You're getting a plastic one for another year.
Ready?
We're gonna
I
give
build
you a
shield. I
wiffle
build
ball back. That's
skill.
what we're gonna do.
Hey, seriously, anybody
gonna
that
be our
really
new
wants
thing.
these, we're gonna
We should all start off the show like
custom
that.
make these. He's gonna custom make them. I mean, it was really nice of him. It was,
Yeah, can we get a date? Well, we're gonna get a link to.
Yeah, it's,
that one,
it's
I mean-
David Martin.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna handle
We'll
that,
put
by
the
way.
link.
I wonder if he could put the Tampa Bay, the rate.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he said he'll custom what
He'll
we
custom
want.
what
He'll
you
put the
want?
Johnny Jean show, put your name, custom, and
I want to get over with the New York Yankees on there. Yeah. Or your Terror Squad, Get a TS one.
and by the way, we're coming back. Maybe we're talking about getting that Mirage opened up again in Tampa. It was the hottest
man.
Latin black club in the state for a
And I'm
long
gonna be the
time.
greeter.
Yeah.
Y'all better know. Terror Squad's gonna be at the door.
Get ready for us. We're making a comeback.
Oh
you
yeah,
really want?
absolutely.
You're going to do that again?
Yeah. I mean, I've owned a lot of clubs in town, and so everybody knows me from the club business. And a lot of guys used to benefit off my money because I kept going to prison. But those days have changed.
Mm-hmm.
No more prison. No more baseball bats. Actually, you're going to take my bat too. Me and Gina giving the bats.
How has John kind of? I mean, you've seen the evolution since he got out to now. What's that process been like as a friend or someone from the outside looking in? Really,
with John, I kind of I contact him and he's real busy. So you gotta understand too, you can't really bombard him when you have post-traumatic stress. You can't bombard people because what happens is now you become a nuisance. So what I do is when John needs me, I'm there. Like today, I'll give you a perfect example. So all my vehicles are in Florida. My house is in Florida. Everything is there. So I called John today. Say, hey, John, I found out he was in Brooklyn. I said, oh my God, I go see John. So I called a couple of people. Everybody's busy. They sleeping. They got to have they're sending them a bedtime story. Everybody has an excuse, right? So she, you know what? I just came to see him. I jumped on the train, came to see John. Whenever he opens up the club in Tampa, when he opens up the club in Tampa, because it ain't if, it's when, he knows that he can make a phone call and say, Marco, go take care of that for me. And he knows it's done. And we got an old saying in Spanish. Me and John are friends con y sin. That means with money or without money, we always gonna be friends. Money's not no issue. He knows that. He don't gotta give me anything. He knows that.
Well,
Never.
money looks good for him with those headphones that no one else has.
And I have no problem. I have no, because man, like again, I'm service connected. I live very well with my veteran, what I get from my VA, because I'm
You get those
100% plus
headphones.
I get my retirement. So I live pretty good. I mean, a little extra won't help, but it don't. With John, it's like he knows. Like I told him, he can come to my house anytime. He don't have to call me. He just knock on my door and it's on. Whatever he needs, he knows.
What's that like for you to to come from a world that's so treacherous and no loyalty to then come out and have great friends like this?
You know what's funny? Because when we were kids and we'd see each other, and then you don't see each other for a long time, and then he went into a life as a veteran, and everybody knows I got such respect for these veterans. And people that forget them, they forget too easily, and I think that's why I got so close with Brian Basho so fast, and some other vets that I've been in, and he's a vet, and they have that mentality of loyalty, so different than what the streets really about. The streets is about a lot of treachery, self-preservation.
Absolutely.
The veterans mentality is I got you six, like Brian Basho's podcast, because these guys really got your back, like he did for my whole life, no matter what. where I was, what my position was. Even though we lost contact, it's like we didn't miss a beat and you're back friends again. So it's important. So like when he reached out and I reached right back to him, we had to make sure that we seen each other because we're here.
Exactly.
Over I'm in Florida, you know, if you're going to be down in, you know, his area, I'm going to shoot and go see him. And that's the thing, man. Just what he said, it's open door policy. It's true friendship. It ain't about the dollar bill, because in the street, it's about the dollar bill. And then when you're finished with that dollar bill, like when I got jammed up and I was in penitentiaries and everybody's stealing from me, like this kid we're talking about, Jimmy Catacamo, you know, there's no loyalty. I saved his life. I put him in my house. He's driving my Benz. He's in my apartments. He's making big money. He put enough money in my club to buy napkins. I mean, he put in, I think, 30 or 40,000. Had $500,000 that opened up that club back in 2000. I believe I opened in 2001. So, you know, I'm giving a bag of cash. But the same guy I saved, this is the thank you. He's trying to give me up. He's trying to steal my money. He was trying to take one of my girls. I mean, this is the mentality of a weakling. And then at the same time, he's telling everybody I'm his cousin if it suits him to keep him alive. There's another guy just died, Fernandez just died, Joey Fernandez, who tried to kill him also. And Joey didn't kill him. I caught him in the bushes laying on the guy, on Jimmy. If I didn't stop him, he would have killed Jimmy. Joey just died. And Joey was a tough guy. He was a killer. He hit a couple of guys. He owned a club called Shangri-La. He had big money. So a serious guy. And he's another guy, matter of fact, that told me, this guy's a piece of shit. Get rid of him. And, you know, when I got jammed up, one of my cousins told me, do not put the club in his sister's name. You can't trust him. And exactly what he did. I mean, but this is just a weak person, a shitty person. And, you know, today's his call-out day because he's got, you know, he plays around on that phone too much. And he thinks that we don't know who it is. And he's running around. And so we're going to call him out a little bit. And if he keeps it up, we'll play a tape every week on part of our show of his 911 calls. So guys that backed him and that's such good friends with the tough guy, here you go. Here's his tapes. That's just one of his 911 begging calls. And there's plenty of them. And same thing, like I said, in solitary confinement, our friends know when he was in suicide watch in Florida. So we'll out him today.
And just going back to speaking about friendships and loyalty and stuff like that, did you struggle in the beginning to, you know, have the confidence to truly be able to trust people after you had experiences like this with Jimmy and other people?
No, because I go back to the roots of my foundation of friends, true friends that don't have that mentality. He has a Marine mentality. He has a brother mentality. It's a different mentality. It's not about the street and hustling. It's about he likes the positive message I'm giving kids. He gives positive messages. Our message is positive. We can move around the way we always do. We know a lot of people. It could be me, him. We could ask a friend to do this. I could grab Jimmy anytime I wanted if that's what I wanted to do. But that's not what I want to do. I want to show the kids out there that was easy for us to do. This is a different thing to let that slide off and live a good life and give these kids a shot. Like hopefully this guy you were talking about, Peter, hopefully gets a shot back at life because you look back at life, it happens fast. You know, I lost a lot of years, and I'm trying to save kids from losing theirs.
I lost my youth.
Yeah, man, you were 17, you got 18 and
Oh,
18, 19 in the books,
I lost
right? Yeah.
19, 20, 22, 24, 25,
Yeah, you
26,
did.
31, 32, 33, 34, 35.
Yeah, you did it full bit. You did the 10,
All
you did
kinds
full,
of
man, you did,
times,
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing, the difference, see, now the difference in combat, the military guys, I put my life in John's hand, John put his life in his. If he goes, I go. And no matter what would come between us. No matter what. I could, right now, John says, give me everything you got in your pockets. I'll empty out my pockets. Like, here, it's yours. And he knows because back in the day, that's the funny thing is all these guys ratting on John. All these guys were ratting on him. This guy, right? And this guy never he's sitting there quiet and doing and being the way he's supposed to be. And these guys are all turning on him. Why he's in
But I'm gonna tell you,
in
I want
Brazil.
to say something, Rocky. You know why? Because they expect guys like us to die in jail.
Yeah.
And that's what they told me. Big bad Gene, you're supposed to take the 40 piece. Fuck you. You're all telling on me. You want me to die in jail?
Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
Right, exactly.
Bullshit.
And you're outside, and you're inside, and they're outside having,
they
you know,
said
Fruit
that.
Loops in the morning.
They said that's what they said exactly. Guys like you that are doing all this crazy stuff, you're supposed to take the time. You're just supposed to take it. No.
Let me tell you something, everybody. These guys are real G's. And let me say, the terror squad respects these guys. The squad respects super in the Bronx, in all the 5 boroughs. they respect John. They respect guys like Gene. People who are loyal, and these guys they don't roll for nobody. That's how Joe is. That's how everybody is, man. And that's what when you got a friend like John, like me and John, I keep guys like that close. I have a very small circle of friends. You know what I'm saying? There's only, I got Kleinfeld, I got Richard, I got, you know what I'm saying? I have Mach. These are small guys. I have John, just small guys. Gene, small guys that I keep in this little circle. And that's everybody else. Just really, honestly, besides my mother and God, they don't matter. My family, they don't matter. And when he opens that club in Florida, he'll see. He'll see what I work. Remember, I was in the military working 18-hour days.
Wow.
I ain't scared to work, man. You know what I mean? And I'm wishing the best of luck. Whenever you ready,
Yep.
I'm there. You know what I mean? You need me to take
appreciate it.
anything you need. He knows.
And one other thing.
Only without the bat.
What's up with
though,
those
Joe.
headphones, bro? So, where'd you get those headphones?
I bought them with my own money.
Oh, really? How much did you pay for them?
If you don't fix my cash
I didn't
out,
get a pair.
cash out, you're not getting back to college. All right, guys. It was really
Take
great
care,
today.
fellas.
All right.
Appreciate you,
Thank you.
Marco, for coming on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have Instagram?
I have an Instagram. It's Marco Riet Santi. Send me a message anytime. And my Facebook is Marco Santi.
Beautiful. And then where can they check out your music? They wanna
Oh, the
check it
music,
out.
you can go on YouTube and put Marco Santi, and my whole album will come up, and you could just, it's actually mixed Spanish and English. So I have 17 songs on there. So it's actually 2 albums.
Yeah, it's good. I listen to it, so.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
What's up?
Tell them where they can find you.
Gene Borello. My Instagram. Hit me up whenever you want. I answer everybody, all right?
John?
I don't want anybody to find me anymore. Okay. All right.
I'm in a ball breaking mood
True
right
John
now.
A.
Right?
Light, johnalite.com on my website. And I'm back on Facebook for people. I added another page. It's actually me on there. I know some of the other Facebooks are The Office, and sometimes I pop on. And the Instagram, you know how to find me. And Kcl Auto, and anywhere else through Felix. Everybody contact Felix.
At Felix.
Thanks, everybody, really. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.